Hello students again. So today we're going to cover the skill with the code KXS. So this is a continuation of the skill that we did yesterday. So if you were working on the one from yesterday, you're not gonna have a hard time on this one because it's exactly the same thing, but now we're gonna involve percents. So the skill name is circles, graphs, and central angles. So the concept of the central angle of the sum of the central angles on any circle, it's equal to 360. We're still going to use it for this skill. So if that means that if I add all of the angles that are in the center, because they're called central angles, on the circle, that means all of these ones, it's equal to 360. Okay, but now the thing is that they're gonna ask me only for 1% of that circle. That means they want me to calculate the measure for that angle given a percent. That sounds confusing, right? Yeah, but it's not as hard as it sounds like. So let's read the question and then I'll answer the question. So Stanford Junior High students were interviewed about their favorite popsicle flavors, and then they give you like the different flavors by percent, right? Now the question is, what is the measure of the central angle in the banana section? So the banana section has 20% of the whole 360. So that means I need to find what would be 20% of the whole 360. So in order to do that, well, I need to multiply 360 times 20%. If you don't know what is 20%, well, you can just put it on the calculator, and 20%, it's the same thing as just doing 20 divided by 100. 20 divided by 100, that's going to give you 0.2. Every time that you don't know the percent, if you want to put it on the calculator, do it like this. Just put that number on the top divided by 100, and that would be the exact decimal. So that means I need to multiply 360 times 0.2. Now let's see what is that equal to. So use your calculator. You can use the online calculator. You can use whatever calculator you have there, because I mean that's a simple calculation, so you don't need a scientific calculator. So if I multiply 360 times 0.2, I got 72. 72. Now let's see if that is true. So 72. And we got it correct. Now let's do this problem here. So question, Jackson's Flooring sponsored a survey about flooring preferences, and then they give you like the little graph with the percent of each flooring preference. And then the question is, what is the measure of the central angle in the carpet section? Well, you gotta remember that whenever I add all of the central angles, that's gonna be equal to 360. So in order for me just to find that 30% of the carpet preference, I need to do 360 times 30%. If you don't know what is a 30%, remember what I told you in the last problem. Do 30 divided by 100. I'm going to do that first. So if I do 30 divided by 100, that's going to give me equal to, 0.3. So I need to multiply 360 times 0.3. Let's see what is that equal to. So 360 times 0.3, that is equal to 108 degrees in this case, which is this section here. So this one would be 108. Now let's see if that is true. So I'm going to put it here, 108. And it is correct. Let's do two more problems for this skill. So, question. The head of a small customer service department is reviewing the number of calls her employees handled last year. And then they give you like a little chart with the customer service performance. And there's like customers there, right? Now, oh, this is the employees, sorry, they're not customers. So the question is, what is the measure of the central angle in the Manuel section? So let's see the Manuel section. It's right here. It has 20%. I'm sorry, 10%. So if I know that if I add them all of the central angles, that's going to give me equal to 360. I will need to do 360 times 10%. But let me convert the percent to decimal. So the percent to decimal, I would do 10 divided by 100. So if you first do 10 divided by 100, that's going to give you 0.1. So that means that I need to multiply 360 times 0.1. So if you multiply 360 times 0.1, that's equal to 36. Now let's see if that is true. So 36. And it is true. This is the last one I'm doing. Well, let me just get ahead a little bit and let's see the type of questions you get after this. Oh, look at this one here. So I'm gonna do this one because it's like a word problem type of thing, but it's exactly the same thing. So a sandwich shop in Morristown polled its customers regarding their favorite sandwiches. 50% of the customers prefer roast beef sandwiches. If this information is displayed in a circle graph, what is the measure of the central angle in the roast beef section? Well, it looks like it's hard because you don't have a little circle, right? But it's the same thing because they're telling you that it's 50% of it. If you were to have the circle will look something like this, like the little circle. And then they would put like a little portion like that, and they would be like 15%, which is exactly the same thing we have done before. So the only thing I need to do is do, okay, I know that if whatever angles I have after that one, whatever it is, they will still be added to 360. So in this case, I only need to do 360 times 15%. Because that 15% is the one they're asking me to find what would be the measure for that section, the angle for that section. Now let me convert that 15% into decimal. So I would do 15 divided by 100. If you cannot do that by hand, just use a calculator for that. So if I do 15 divided by 100, I would get 0.15. So I need to multiply 360 times 0.15. Now let's do that. And I get 54. Let's see if that is true. And it is true. I think that's enough for this skill. I think after this examples, you're going to be able to do all of them. So try to get the highest grade possible, and see you on the next skill. Bye.